Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, we are going to be doing a reading and energy update for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. So, I don't know exactly where this whole reading is going to go, but I do know that there was an initial starting message that really wanted to come through. I don't know if it's necessarily related to the rest of the reading or not, but I wanted to go ahead and share that message. And the message is, there are people coming into your life or who have been coming into your life recently. Some of these individuals may have came into your life and then seemingly ghosted you or disconnected from you suddenly as well, because I get the sense of this possibly having gone on for quite some time. But these are individuals who you meet and there is something about them that you feel extremely admiring of or drawn to. I'm hearing propping them up. So there may be this desire when you meet them to make them see this quality about themselves that you admire, or to somehow like point this out to them, or to deliver that message to them, to say like, hey, did you know that this quality about you is so beautiful or so inspiring? But the thing that I was getting is, it's funny because as you're saying that to them, whether you actually said that with words or transferred it to them energetically just by being present with them, or just something going on between your consciousnesses, regardless of how that admiration was transferred, it's almost like at the same time, I see you looking in a mirror, and suddenly what you're looking at that you admire so deeply is actually a quality about yourself. And specifically, my guides called it a dormant quality. So a quality that you hold or possess that either you haven't necessarily been actively utilizing recently, or maybe a quality that even if you have been expressing it or you have been utilizing it, you haven't been acknowledging to yourself just how beautiful this quality is, or how admirable it is, or how inspiring it is. So it's almost like the universe is sending you these other people where you're coming across this soul quality in others that you actually possess within yourself. And this is for the purpose of you actually more consciously integrating this aspect within yourself. It's almost like pointing something out to you about you through this other person. It's almost like while you're complimenting them, or while you're thinking a compliment towards them, or thinking, wow, I really admire this, or I'm so inspired by this. Like, I see someone just almost like with their mouth open, like in awe of like, wow, that is so beautiful. But the universe is saying, that's you. That's a part of you. Now, for some of you, if it's not a specific quality, then the quality we're talking about here is simply your ability to, I'm hearing, to see and enhance the beauty in things just by acknowledging it. It's really strange. It's almost like you have this ability when you're around people to notice admirable or beautiful traits about them that they may be hiding or that they may not be fully aware of. And when you do this, it actually props them up, or props those qualities up in a way that can enhance those qualities within others. This is also why you may have had the experience of people telling you that they just feel better in your presence, or they feel uplifted, or they feel like a better version of themselves, or they feel even motivated to make positive changes in their life. This is because I feel one of your most profound spiritual gifts is this ability to truly see the best traits within others, and in just seeing and noticing those traits, to actually highlight them. And wow, a bigger message is coming through here, like a bigger picture of this. Where this fits into the bigger picture is, I'm hearing you are the keeper of the highest timeline. What I mean by this is, you have this ability to help people align with a version of themselves that exists on a higher timeline. It's like, in a way, you give them a glimpse into a higher version of themselves. You almost allow them to interact briefly as that version of themselves, a version of themselves that feels more empowered, more authentic, more confident, maybe more self-loving or loving of others. And that is part of why, in fact, I would say a major reason why your presence is so addicting. It's because of this effect it has on other people. It's because when they're around you, they feel like they are living and moving and interacting and even like taking actions as this higher version of themselves. I'm hearing like modeling. I don't know, maybe someone is a model or something, but more likely I'm getting like you are modeling an energy, a frequency. You're like showing off, you are revealing or like kind of showcasing, we'll say, an energy or a frequency that they don't usually have access to, but they have access to in your presence. And this helps them kind of practice that energy or practice that frequency and then take it back into their regular daily life, even outside of your presence. Now, the pitfall of this really profound and beautiful spiritual gift that you have is that many people don't really understand the gift itself. They feel addicted to your presence, they feel addicted to your energy, but they don't understand that the reason they feel so good around you, the reason they feel so motivated is because you are giving them a glimpse into a higher energy, a higher version of themselves that they are meant to be practicing, but then taking into their daily life and integrating in a more conscious way. And that takes a level of work and introspection and dedication. But what I'm getting happens is, wow, I'm hearing you have an ability to project people's higher version of themselves onto them. And yes, that is a powerful thing because I've used this kind of metaphor before, but it's almost like tracing, where I remember as a kid, I used to do this a lot, where you would have a coloring page that was already pre-created and really professional, and then you would overlay a transparent paper on it and you could trace it. And even if you didn't have the skill to actually create that piece of art, by tracing it, by following the lines, you could still make it kind of your own and practice drawing at the same time. I feel that you are often giving other people the opportunity to trace and to outline and to highlight this higher version of themselves through being connected to you. And in doing so, to train themselves into potentially living and acting more as that higher energy. The problem is, I feel that many people misunderstand this process and they either entirely don't connect the dots. So they may think that it's completely random, that they're just starting to get inspired being around you. They may not understand the spiritual component to it or the amount of work that they're going to have to do on themselves to be able to maintain that frequency. They may just think that it's happenstance. On the other side of this equation, I feel it's possible for people to become entitled to your presence or to your energy, where they become so addicted to the way they feel around you that they begin to feel as though they should possess your time or possess your attention or your energy to some extent. They come at it from a lack mentality. And these individuals may actually get afraid of losing you or losing some of your time, losing some of your attention. And so they begin to feel this sense of entitlement to that time or to that energy. Another pitfall that I feel you could run into, or that you may be familiar with if this message is for you, is that sometimes because you have an ability to project people's higher self onto them, it can be difficult for you to actually see the reality of the person until a lot of time has passed until it's like revealed to you over the course of time, because these projections are powerful. Your energy is powerful. So when you project a higher energy onto someone in this way, it creates almost this uptick in their energetic field that causes them to actually merge temporarily with that higher version of themselves. But over time, that energy has to settle and come down and be integrated in a sustainable way. And that's where I feel gradually you see the true self of others, like the current self, being revealed to you over the course of time. This can also lead to a lot of disappointment for you on your end, because you can wonder, is there something wrong with me for always thinking the best in others, or even perceiving them as quote unquote better than they actually are? People around you may even judge you for this, or say that you're someone who loves for potential, or someone who doesn't see the reality of other people, or who is naive or gullible. But that's not the case. You actually just have this. Again, it's a gift. It truly is a gift to be able to project a higher energy onto others, and in doing so, to help them align more with that version of themselves. It's such a beautiful thing, but one that I feel people do have the tendency to take for granted. And so I feel like all of this is coming up simply to explain something that if you're in this collective, you've always experienced, so that you have the tools and like the knowledge, the consciousness of what's really going on here, to be able to protect yourself. I'm hearing to pace yourself accordingly. Specifically when it comes to pacing, I feel like you're someone who may take things very slow when it comes to relationships, when it comes to even friendships. You often have to pace things and check in with yourself, and sometimes pull back your energy a bit. This isn't you being hesitant just for the purpose of being avoidant or anything like that. The reason you keep things at such a particular pace is because you inherently understand that you have such a powerful ability to project a super high vibrational energy onto others, that it takes time for you to be sure that they are aligning with that in reality, that they are taking actual action steps to be sustaining that energy in their day-to-day life, and that they aren't just artificially utilizing your presence and your energy as this kind of temporary bridge to this higher version of themselves. Because I'm hearing something about entanglements, and how if someone isn't actively working on themselves to sustain this higher energy, it can lead to these so-called entanglements, where you can become kind of entangled in lower vibrational timelines because you connected with someone through this higher energy that you projected onto them, that then they weren't quite ready to sustain in a real-time physical way. And this can kind of lead to these sort of artificial timelines or spin-off timelines, where it's not that anything can take you off course from your personal highest vibrational timeline, like forever or anything like that. But there can be these sort of detours. And I feel like this has happened to you before, where you got involved in with someone too quickly, or in a group or a friendship or a situation, under the pretense of the energy that you were projecting onto it that was really high vibrational. But then that person, thing, or situation revealed itself to you, and yet there was already some kind of obligation or entanglement in place, or a sense of entitlement from this other person's end, that led you to kind of have to play out some artificial timeline detours, so to speak, and then to circle back to your core timeline, let's say your personal highest vibrational timeline. I also feel like this can lead to resentment in some of your connections, where when someone starts to feel entitled to your time or entitled to your energy, they actually can resent you if you choose to set even the simplest of boundaries, or to just protect some of that time or energy. And I'm just getting a message generally of being very, very aware of how people respond to the withdrawal of your energy. Because if someone truly has the motivation to want to make positive change within themselves, when you choose to withdraw or to set a boundary, to care for yourself, to nourish yourself, to protect yourself, the other person will respond respectfully. They will honor that boundary, and they will take that time to focus more on integrating that high vibrational energy within themselves. When someone is utilizing you as a bridge and they aren't willing to make those changes, they don't want to put that work in on themselves, you'll notice that they react in a very volatile way to any setting of boundaries, to any pulling back or withdrawal of your energy, because they began to feel some kind of ownership or entitlement over it. I'm not really sure what this all is coming up in the energy, because this kind of reminds me of the previous reading I did for a group of divine feminines as well. So if you haven't yet listened to that reading, you may see some overlap between the two readings. I feel like they're connected in some way, regardless of whether you listening to this reading resonate with the divine feminine, because I wasn't necessarily getting that specifically for this reading. But I would love to know in the comments as well if this has been relating, if you feel there's a reason. We've been talking about boundaries, protecting your energy, embracing your level of mastery with confidence. Is this relevant to your spiritual path at this time? I would love to know if so. If you would like assistance in really maintaining your personal highest vibrational energy, clearing out any projections or energy blocks you may have picked up, then I really recommend trying out some of these subliminals I've created. Subliminals are really powerful for this kind of energy clearing work because they work with the subconscious mind, which actually controls 95% of our thoughts, actions, and outcomes in life. So by shifting and reprogramming the subconscious, we can really quickly train our minds into a super high vibrational energy and frequency, and train our subconscious thought patterns to work with us rather than against us. Personally, I have seen the most powerful results, shifts, and changes in my own life using subliminals over the years. I still use them every single day through my own app, where I've created a library of over 130 subliminals for all areas of life. So there are subliminals for love, money, appearance, business, mood, mindset, and so many other things as well. And in the app, you can listen to any subliminal in 10 different background sound options. You can read the affirmations embedded within each track, and you can create your own custom private playlists as well. So the name of the app is Sound and Soulful. You can find it by searching in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store, or for even easier access, you can simply click the link in the pinned comment and description box underneath the video, and that will take you directly to the app in the app stores for you to check it out. Now, specifically for this reading, I would most highly recommend my subliminal called Highest Vibrational Timeline, because we've been talking so much about you aligning with your highest timeline. This will help to get that positive energy moving in all areas of your life, to help you really sustain that super high vibrational energy, no matter who or what you're interacting with. Personally, I tend to feel a shift even just in one listen of this specific subliminal. So I definitely recommend trying it out for yourself if you feel guided to do so. And you can find it in the app by searching under the All Audios tab. Or of course, if you don't have the app yet, you can download it by clicking the link in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. Okay, so let's see if any other messages want to come through here. I've been really surprised by the direction of this reading. This is not what I was expecting at all. Now, interestingly, a card came right out from the deck that was actually the first card I pulled in the previous reading as well. That may be another sign to go check out that reading after this one. But this is the Nine of Swords reversed, and it's about feeling a heavy energy around you, but actually being on the brink of some kind of powerful clarity. So can I get any other information for all of the beautiful people listening to this reading? Okay, so we have the Seven of Pentacles reversed. Maybe someone feeling delayed, feeling impatient, feeling some sense of unfinished business. What is going on here? We also have the Strength card reversed, so could be feelings of vulnerability, insecurity coming up here, and the Lovers card. So we haven't even really been talking about your love life, but I feel as though maybe for someone listening, there is a sense of unfinished business in love, either generally in your love life or in a specific situation. You may be kind of doubting how things are going to work out in your love life. But the fact that the Lovers card is upright tells me things actually really are aligning in a powerful way for you in love. And strangely, I'm not exactly sure yet the meaning of this message, but what's coming through is the guides are saying actually the fact that you are feeling delayed and the fact that you are feeling a bit of self-doubt coming up here means you're on exactly the right track. And I believe that what I'm getting from that is you haven't been willing, I'm hearing, for some reason I heard to take the easy way out. I'm not sure what that means for someone. Maybe that holds specific meaning. Maybe there was some pathway for you specifically in love or in some area of your life that looked deceptively easy and simple, and maybe was a pathway similar to what other people would tend to follow. And yet you didn't take that pathway because with the 9 of Cups, you always believed that some kind of dream could come true, or that if it's love specific, maybe you always believed that love should truly feel like it connects with you in mind, body, and soul. Like it should feel like a dream come true, like a wish fulfillment. And you had things that you desired to experience in love and knew that it was possible for you, even as there were these easier pathways, quote unquote, easier on the surface presented to you. You knew in your soul that there was more. And I'm hearing like you were holding out for that wish fulfillment. Now, if this isn't connecting with you specifically in love, maybe this is in your life generally, that you've really chosen not to take what other people consider the easy path, the path of settling. You've decided to take the wish fulfillment pathway with the Empress card. And I'm just hearing this massive confirmation, like all of your dreams are coming true, which I know sounds really cliche, but I really do feel that coming through this reading. Like whatever you've been dreaming or envisioning, whether it's in your love life or a different area of your life that hasn't allowed you to settle onto the quote unquote easy pathway, I feel that I'm hearing it's because it's like you wouldn't allow yourself to settle because you knew in your soul that that dream timeline was a possibility, that it was a reality. I also feel as though I'm speaking to someone who very much embodies an Empress energy. So most likely you are resonating as the divine feminine, although that doesn't have to be the case. But again, I felt that connection point to the previous divine feminine reading as well. And I feel like you are healing your heart from something at this time. And I'm hearing the more you heal your heart, the more powerful you become. I'm hearing your healing is becoming visible as well, whether you realize it or not, that you've come such a long way in healing something. And it's almost like there's a part of you wondering, am I just stuck? Have I actually been healing? I'm seeing that spiral staircase where you felt like you've been going in circles at times, but you've been actually elevating, just like you've been walking up a spiral staircase. It feels like a circle from a flatter perspective. But when you look at it as a whole picture, you're actually elevating. And I keep getting this message like you have been healing. Look at how far you've come. Look at how self-assured and how confident and how self-loving you've become. That's how you know you're healing. That's a sign of your healing. And the more you continue to heal your heart, but right as I said, heal your heart, I heard to soothe your heart. So maybe there's specific self-loving or self-nourishing things you are choosing to do to soothe yourself or to soothe your heart. But the more that you do this, the more powerful you're becoming and the closer you're aligning with whatever this dream timeline is for you, whether that is in love or in your life generally. I'm also hearing something about giving yourself permission to be healed. And right as I said that, I felt this just wave of emotion coming over me, giving yourself permission to be healed. I feel like there may be some old pattern or dynamic or a person trying to like drag you back into a wounded place or a triggered place, but you've already healed from that. And it's almost like also I'm hearing giving yourself permission to be happy. Maybe there's a part of you that feels like a guilt for just being happy or being healed, or I'm hearing escaping. Interesting. Maybe you escaped mentally or emotionally or physically some dynamic that other people haven't been able to escape from or still are trapped in, that you may feel an obligation for. I'm hearing your example of freedom is more powerful than being entrapped with them. Wow, I don't know who this is for or how it's applying, but I just really hope this message has reached you. I know we're probably going to channel more into this thread of energy in future readings. So if you do want to stay tuned in here on the channel, I recommend subscribing and turning on notifications here on YouTube. And of course, if you would like to utilize my highest vibrational timeline Subliminal to really help you through this, to help you stay connected with that dream timeline, and to really deeply reprogram your own energy to align with that high vibrational energy, then the link to get my Sound and Soulful Subliminals app is in the pinned comment and description box under this video. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself. And now, for the first time ever, just in the last week, you can check out my music. I write songs and sing, and I am sharing channeled energies and channeled messages through song under the name Songs by Infinity, which these songs will be available across most main streaming platforms. But specifically, if you'd like to follow me on Spotify, that's mainly where I'll be focusing my energy when it comes to these projects. And my first channeled song is now available. It's called Go On to New York. And if you do feel guided to listen, I will leave a link to it in the description box of this video as well. So otherwise, thank you so much for tuning in here today. I am sending you all huge amounts of love and light energy. Have an amazing remainder of your day, and I will connect with you here again in the next video.